So as of this recording, the Dodgers are up 2-0 in the World Series. I'm hoping they win the whole thing. I don't want to jinx it. Game one was crazy exciting, but I purposely didn't watch the ending because it's weird, but I watch the game and they always end up losing. So I avoid watching some of these games. And I'm not a diehard fan. I used to be. In my later years, I got way into English Premier League soccer. So I'm into that. And I don't have the time to watch multiple sports. So yeah, back in the day, basketball, baseball, football. But the sport I like to watch is the English Premier League.
That's right. You know what time it is. It's time for Business Bites.
Business Bites.
So this week for Business Bites, I wanted to talk to you guys about how what used to cost tons of money for big companies to do, we as individuals will quickly have more and more access to. So I was on the internet and I saw this green screen package that they sell. It was a lot of green screen settings. And so when I was doing 3D, to create those settings, you would basically have to build that world, to make it look like a realistic town or scenery or, landscape, whatever it was, you would have to build that out. And now with this green screen preset technology, you can actually have like your characters behind a green screen or in front of a green screen and then have just drag and drop these sceneries. It's crazy. So why am I saying all this? Because I feel like with the advancement of technology, especially with AI and with things just kind of speeding up since the inception of the internet, the small guys are starting to get a lot of advantages. Before, you had to be a big studio or a big company to be able to pull off some of this stuff. But now you and me at home could do some of this stuff. Why am I saying all this? I'm saying this because I think in the future, the small guys can capitalize on a lot of these technologies so that we can be successful despite using millions and billions of dollars. And almost on the flip side, you would need to keep up to date with a lot of these technologies and utilize these technologies to stay afloat, whether it's getting a job or whether it's doing your own gig or your small business. So these are quickly changing times, rapidly changing times. And, there's some guy out there who can make a top quality animation video at a fraction of the cost of what it took Disney and DreamWorks and all of these other companies back in the day to make. And the technologies at their fingertips, with AI, even the music soundtrack, you can just add all that in without hiring an orchestra. It's crazy. And the AI generates everything for you. So this gives an advantage to the small guys. Will it challenge the big guys? Or are your aspirations when you start your business, is it for you to get huge or is it to, stay kind of relatively small and manageable? And I would say that a lot of people, we start businesses and we want it to explode. We want it to go exponential. We want it to blow up, right? But I think there is a healthy zone, like a sweet spot, a zone where you can manage the company and at the same time, you can stay relevant and still generate a healthy income, a steady, healthy income. And that's the key, having a steady, healthy income, not just an income, or you want the income to grow, exponentially, and you reinvest, and then you end up failing, and you don't have anything to show for it. It's like the turtle, the steady Eddie turtle, the rabbit can jump ahead and go fast, but it's the turtle who wins the race by the steady pace and whatnot. And finding that balance is the key, how fast you go, how slow you go, because you don't want to go too slow either. So anyway, that's my take this week on Business Bites. I hope this Business Bites helps you think about things, because before you launch a business, you want to, stimulate your brain and make sure you're covering most of your bases. You're not going to cover all your bases. You're not going to know some of these things. You're not going to know until you get your feet wet. Okay. But as much preparation as we could have, I suggest, get it. And a lot of times it's just talking to people or, even listening to this short segment on my podcast and it just triggers things. And I'm not telling you how to do things. I'm just sparking a discussion and that's it. And that's what these Business Bites are for. I'm no solution giver, you go to your financial advisor for that or your business advisor, whoever, lawyer, AI soon. I don't know.
Business Bites.
So I got this bed unrolled in my truck and this is huge. This is, it's 12 inches high and man, it looks plush though. It's like a serious bed, serious mattress. Not bad. Hopefully get some really comfortable nights on this mattress. It's nice. Oh my God. This bed is amazing. Before, I felt like it would tilt a little bit this way because I'm always sitting on the edge of this bed. This thing is so high up and firm. It feels like I'm on a level surface. This is crazy. This is amazing. Wow. Money well spent.
So this new bed is pretty awesome. You could just see how high it is. It's 12 inches high. Up against the side cabinets, the mattress goes pretty high up. Now, here are photos of my previous truck. Actually, this is my first truck. And I think the mattress is probably about 8 inches or so because you can see it's kind of low. I mean, it's not a shot of every angle here, but it is still kind of shows you a pretty good reference point. But this mattress is bomb. It's so comfortable. I really, really like it. And I'm glad I spent that extra money to get it for my truck because sleeping is something I do every day. And on a crummy mattress, it just makes that experience a lot worse and also creates body pains throughout the day.
So I had a short video on my take on mental health, and I was thinking about it, and a lot of times these choices that we make are bad choices. Choices that have consequences, choices sometimes that we can't reverse. You make a choice, a bad choice, and you have to live with it, and then you have to move on. A lot of times, those bad choices leave scars, and we have to live with the consequences of those scars. And one of those consequences is other people around you telling you that that was a bad choice over and over again, or we didn't like your choice, but it's too late. Now you can't go back on that choice. And so I was thinking about it, and sometimes that creates the mental health issue, because there's no recourse sometimes. And if there is a recourse, it's very, very difficult. And that struggle inside that person causes that inner tension or the conflict inside. So yeah, just a quick take on the mental health thing that I talked about a few videos back.
From time to time, you get some challenging backup situations. This one was probably one of the most challenging in recent times. We had tight angles, tight roads, and also some crazy U-turns. Eventually, I made it in, but yeah, it's not a situation that I would like to repeat. I think the biggest thing too is being aware of the location, and if you go back there again, it'll be a lot easier. But the first time around is always the toughest because of all of the unknowns.
So this is the narrow way that I had to bring it in. You got a truck parked here, and you got the rail, and you got this is where we're at here. I mean, backing in is roomy, but the street here, how are you gonna back in from there? Well, I know a lot of super truckers and veterans out there. It's a cakewalk, but so I basically had to go up that. They helped me block the street and go up that opposite flow of traffic right there. So right here on Valley Boulevard, the streets are pretty narrow. I'm still not at that level yet where I can just maneuver this. It's pretty low on fuel, but 142 gallons, $565. It's this cheap because I'm in Arizona. If it was in Southern California, it'd be a lot more. Yeah, unfortunately, after 5 hours plus, they're finally loading me now. This place is taking forever. I got here early. I got an early morning tomorrow in La Mirada, so I got to get to Southern California and deliver this thing. And that's why one of the reasons why I got here early is so that we can get a head start and I won't be late. But I don't know, it's getting tight now. And yeah, these guys were saying that they're gonna load me up, but right now it's not happening, and so I'm getting a little nervous. We'll see what happens. Hopefully we make it on time. It's not a very good ending to a crummy week already, so yeah, I mean, life of a truck driver. What's going on, my people? So this week wasn't as strong as I would have liked, but it's kind of good because I wanted to ease back into the trucking. I got basically about, give or take, a little more than 1,700 miles. They sent me twice to the Phoenix area and back, but then they also needed 2 local deliveries in the Phoenix area. So that kind of messed things up. Worked from Tuesday all the way to Saturday, but I ended early Saturday. They shut me down. But you know what? I think it was good timing. I think that was enough work for me during the week. And hopefully next week I get 6 good long runs and I can kind of crank it. Yeah, just my thoughts. But having been away from trucking for basically about half a month and being on vacation, coming back to it, you kind of have a appreciation for things. And I came back to it, and I kind of miss trucking a little bit, And the job itself is different. And there's a kind of like a level of satisfaction, when you're doing these deliveries and doing the pickups and everything else, and doing the miles. And as much as we want things to be better at Schneider. Schneider's not a bad company. It's a good company. It's solid. It's one of the mega carriers, and I know a lot of mega carriers get a lot of shtick. But at the end of the day, they're still in business because they're doing some things right, and they're not perfect. There's no perfect company out there. And so, yeah, having been away from Schneider for half a month, they allowed me in my first year to take off 2 weeks and come right back to work. I don't know if that's going to be the case for every account, but that working relationship I have with my department allowed me to do that. And that's my next point, is that a lot of your work experience isn't so much because, XYZ company did this, that, and this to you. It's more about who you're working with, your work experiences with your direct supervisors, your back office, your DTL in our situation. But that interaction, that working relationship makes a huge difference. And you could say, the company sucks or the company is great. But a lot of that is because of that person. So if you encounter a Schneider driver and that driver is a jerk driver, not every driver is perfect, but you can all of a sudden think, what, Schneider drivers suck, But let's say you encounter a very polite professional driver and you're going to think, well, you know what? Schneider drivers aren't bad at all. They're pretty good, And that's the reality in a big company like this, because you have a mixture of a lot of different kinds of personalities and flavors, basically, right? Like if you're even the US, you could say, when you go abroad, people can say Americans are like this, Americans are like that. But at the end of the day, there's so many different Americans. We have good people, bad people. We have a lot of people in between, and you can't measure a whole country by your interactions with a few people. Same with the mega carriers. You can't really, and I know people will say, well, there's a track record, there's a history of their encounters over and over again, and they face this, and that's yeah. If you face that, you could make that judgment call. Go ahead, In my experience, there's good people, there's bad people, and in the bigger the environment, the bigger the company, the more variety you're going to face. So yeah, but my experience with this company has been so far decent. If I were to give it a grade, I'd give it a B plus. There are things that I want to get better. You've heard me in the previous videos how I wish this would happen or that would happen, or how I would get more miles and everything else. But that's just me trying to get that one level higher. And so yeah, so far I'm happy here. And we'll see. We'll see in 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. I don't know. You don't know until you encounter things that happen to you that either solidify your decision or go against what you thought. So far so good, and hopefully that stays like that forever, as long as I stay here. So anyway, so that is my video for this week. Thank you for following me on this journey. And like I said, next week, I hope I get more miles, better loads. But, sometimes a company needs us drivers to do the local loads. And, we are working for the company, and we have to be proactive, and we have to do the best we can to make sure that the company succeeds. So anyway, I will catch you next time. God bless you. Peace, and stay safe out there. Cheers.